Okay. Oh yeah, we got it now. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. You know, I could have used a pencil for this, but where would the fun be of that? Run him off the page like that. Let's give this big boy a beard. Some more massive shoulders. What do you think of that one? Alright, so now we're gonna darken this in. This wood is I think poplar. I have some cedar planks and they burn really well. A lot of the wood burning kits come with cedar planks. Back in the 80s. Well, I shouldn't say that when it was. A long time ago, back in the 1900s, when I was a kid, as probably a lot of people around that era got these kits, and this one was a wood burning kit. And if I can find a pic, I'll show it on the screen right here. But it's just a simple wood burning pyrography tool that you plug in, and it came with these, I don't know, 2.5 or 3 by 6, 7 inch cedar planks. It had some sheets of leather, so there were leather projects involved in it, and of course these wood burners really do well on leather as well. And man, I burned all kinds of stuff, and I was pretty young when I got it. I was really at the lower end of the age range for that product, for that kit, and some of the stuff I couldn't do. My parents helped a little bit, but to get started, but you know, then they let us go and be creative, do whatever we wanted to do with it. But I had these wood planks for years, and I remember making a few various projects over the years with my wood burner on those cedar planks. I think I made a sign for someone with someone's name on it for Christmas one year. I think my grandma or something. And somebody at school I made a plaque for once. And also when I got to a new bike one time, I made a license plate. So, or a vanity tag, I don't know what you would call it, but I remember using that cedar plank to write something on. Drilled a couple of holes in it, and you know, wired it on the back of the bicycle, and I was young. It was a good time. But I know they probably do sell these kits nowadays. They probably have better. This little wood burner here was super cheap. I don't really remember the price, but I do remember it was cheap for what it is. It's two pins, digital display, the dial that you can turn it fully variable, heat, power. Also, it has the you can switch between either side, and the power button, and it has a bunch of tips that go with it. Now these tips that go with these, it's much different than the old screw-on type like I had, and they still sell those, but this thing gets hot fast, and you got a lot more control over the heat than you did in those old kits, where the kit that I had, you just plug it in, and you better have the right tip on it before you start, or else you'll need pliers and something to set this tip on once it gets hot if you want to switch it out. But yeah, these are like a wire loop that you put there's two set screws in here, and you can see it right there. But the old ones were they took a long time to heat up, it seemed, and you could easily, if you went too fast, and these are the same way except you can turn them way hotter, but if you go too fast with the old ones, it would cool the tip off to where it didn't really burn that well, or it started getting splotchy, and that was frustrating for me. I was a little impatient, and I wanted it to work like this one does here, where you can turn that heat up, and if you need to burn quick, you can burn quick. You saw me sketching this out. You just kind of turn it down, get a little light sketch to it. It's not the recommended way of doing this sort of art, but it definitely works for me. I just kind of have something in my mind and start sketching and do it that way, for sort of free form, free flow of thought or whatever, and I like doing it that way. So this kit right here, this Krisnann 939D, what does it say, V1 or 6 or whatever that VI is, it's been really nice. I really enjoy it, and I'm doing a lot more wood burning now than, see, the last time I did this much wood burning was when I was a kid, and over the years I've had a couple of different wood burners similar to the one, in fact, if not just like the one that I had. A few years back I was making plaques with one that it was a handheld pen, just like the old one, except it had a variable temperature switch on it, and that was really nice, but it burned up pretty quick. I had it for a year and it finally burned up, but then after that I had a spare one that I had, an old, just you plug it in, it's on, I think it was actually a soldering iron, but it worked as a wood burner. And then I bought another variable speed, only it was it wasn't variable, it was just on and off, or maybe high and low or something like that. Yeah, it was like off, high, and low, but I didn't really like it. But this, once I saw Jordy Johnson burning on his Carving Fusion channel on YouTube, he has very good taste and very good judgment on tools, I guess. I'll come back and do some trees in here and scenery. turn it up some more. Let's get it close to 700 degrees. I don't know what the numbers mean. It says 6 and 83. Oh, you can probably see it right there in the corner. I don't know. Maybe that's just the light. I'm not real much on fading here. I know it's a matter of taking your time. Taking my time. But I guess I'm not taking my time. Give him some abs. Yeah, Bigfoot with some abs. Going for the abs. I do painting. I like to acrylic paint, but that seems oversaturated to me. I don't know. But I really like doing this too, so I was going to do some wood carving outside, but it was hot, and I had trouble getting the camera set up where wood chips wouldn't blast it in the eye and right in the lens, you know what I mean? So this is a good mixture. I mean, I can draw but sit inside, and it seems kind of splotchy. Let's do it this way. That's going to look different. I hope this picks up. Another good thing about this setup here is I can see all of the camera and everything that's happening, so if I pay attention I'll be able to keep up with the microphone battery and things like that. I think I can live stream with this. This is a GoPro Hero 13 Black, and I think I can live stream with it somehow. Maybe with the app. I don't remember how, but I know that I believe it's possible. Let's see here. The fan in the background is probably messing up everything, but I hope these mics, or this mic, will cancel out that pretty good. Maybe not all of it, but make it to where it's a little bit less of a problem. Because it is warm up in here. I mean, I could turn the air on, but it's not that kind of hot outside, so I would just be wasting electricity. Plus, my wife would be freezing down at the other end of the house. I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing better than this, but sometimes I just don't feel like doing it right, I guess. Is that bad? I don't know. been going 18 minutes, so I'm hoping that I can get this wrapped up pretty good within 30 minutes, and so I can test it. I mean, this might not be even a releasable video, but I'll keep it. Maybe it's good for a speed drawing or something, I don't know, a short. Yeah, see, this is going to be behind there, so I need to put me some dark in here. Put it back there. Push it back a little. This is just fun to do, you know. You don't have to be perfect. It's pretty forgiving, actually. I mean, it's not like a real Bigfoot, like, you know, is that what they're going to say? It doesn't look like a real Bigfoot? I'd met a friend from Argentina, and he was an artist as well. He did comic book type art, and we were talking about why I drew or painted Bigfoot all the time, and I said, hey, it's actually good, because nobody's going to be able to say you don't draw Bigfoot correctly. He's not anatomically correct, because, you know, for obvious reasons, I have nothing to compare it to other than just the imagination or people's descriptions. You know, it could be, how do we know that they have proportions? In fact, I don't think that they say that they have proportions of humans, so nobody's going to criticize the way I draw it. I mean, well, they could, because there's just people that do that, but, you know, don't really have a legitimate argument saying it doesn't look like a Bigfoot or real Bigfoot, in my opinion anyway. He said, yeah, that's a good point. He passed away a few years back, so that's a sad story, but yeah, this looks pretty good. I mean, you know, I'm not bragging or anything. Yeah, see, I don't really like the little, there's a lot of spots. I don't really like the spots, because what it is I'm stopping and not feathering it out enough. Possibly even too hot, maybe, or maybe it ain't hot enough. I'm not really sure exactly. Let's come back and try to fix it. Some of them anyway. I don't know if that's, I mean, it's still splotchy, but look right here. Now for what kind of background do we want? Do we want a surreal background or trees? I want to make trees, but I'm gonna do surreal trees. Uh-oh. Maybe I'm just gonna screw it up. Let's turn it down again. These aren't surreal trees, but what is a surreal tree? I was just gonna hint at some webbed designs in the background, but it kind of went a little darker than I wanted. When I made the first keystroke, when I made the first strike of the pen down here, I saw how dark it was, and it immediately changed I realized I couldn't do what I wanted to do on that stroke. So that means it's going to be this way for the whole thing. Let's see. See, it's kind of got a little bit of a light coming from straight up into the front, I guess. So we want to kind of keep that on the tree as well. I want a thicker tree right here. Go down here. Come up this side. Go up this way. Go like that. I don't know. Break off this way. Break off that way. Turn it back up again. I can't make up my mind. It's not giving me the same look that I want. I have to change it. Get out like these figure eights in here. These figure eights and S's in here. I know it's not realistic, but what's going to happen here is I'm going to cover it up. And this just gives it texture. I just kind of keep piling it on. I'm gonna get it dark right in the center, because, well, it's because I want to do it that way. I think that's the way it would look right. I think I'm gonna go with very minimalistic scenery here. I think I'm just gonna go with a tree, this tree, and maybe some dirt back here for for the trees to set in. Set in there. Just some roots here. Just do that. Come around here with some very faint hillside. I don't know, just kind of a simple blob squatch. This is I think it's either a poplar or a birch wood I got from Lowe's or one of those stores, Home Depot, Lowe's, something like that. And it was a 4-foot board plank, and I just cut it into 8 inch segments, and this is the width that it was. And I just cut off these 8-inch segments and stuff. So I'm gonna just go in here with a little brush. Just a little brush going on. Just splotchy stuff to fill up give it a hint of a background. Some out of focus bushes, plants, things back here. Just something. Just some stuff. Look at that dark under there. I don't know, I feel like there's some darkness there. Needs to be some sort of action going on. So I'm losing his feet. That's alright. Yeah, and I think I could do a lot better. I'll just keep practicing on this board. Not this one, but the same type of board. And figure out what temperature and pen tip to use. Gives me the best. What gives me the best smooth results here. Oh, I kind of like this little shader. It's like a tiny spoon. Let's do a branch coming across. Just do that. Still kind of everything's kind of flowing that way, the way he's walking. You know, you could come back and do some trees going the other direction if you wanted to. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just go with the flow. If it flows, just let it flow. If it looks okay. And then what I'm gonna do with this is take and sand or chisel the edges, I think, and then put me a plastic hanger on the back. I bought a pack of plastic stick-on hangers, which I don't trust the stick-on stuff. I'll either glue it or staple it and glue it, whatever, but get it on there, you know what I mean? It won't be as critical for this because it's just so light. This is a light wood. I would say it's a lot like that basswood, but it's something else. Yep. And that's my squatch, and I'm sticking to it. So guys, gals, this is the Bigfoot. Oh, gotta sign it. Also, I'm gonna do mine down here. Since I'm probably gonna chisel this off, I may have to do it again, but very, very faint. I'll sign the back of it too. Just put a little initial down there and hidden in the weeds. But yeah, there you go. Bigfoot. This is the end product. 35 minutes almost. So once I edit it, maybe I'll cut a piece out of it or something, but there you go, guys, gals. I'm gonna hold it still, and then that way I can zoom in on it with my, there it is. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Please come back and watch other videos. That tells YouTube that you like this channel, this kind of content. Of course, that's if you do like it. If you don't, I guess, you know, you do what you want to do. But I would really appreciate it if you'd come back and watch more. We're gonna go through all sorts of different projects. I think that's good enough for the Zoom. There you go. See you guys later.